we haven't had a true Splinter Cell game for a very long time. In fact, the last proper entry in the franchise was Splinter Cell Blacklist, which released all the way back in 2013. Since then, Ubisoft has been busy developing other major titles and focusing heavily on open-world RPGs, but despite the long silence, there are still clear plans to revive the Splinter Cell franchise. So, today, let's talk about everything we currently know about the Splinter Cell remake, the possibility of future games, and what we can realistically expect from the franchise going into 2026 and beyond. It now looks increasingly likely that 2026 is going to be a massive year for Splinter Cell, particularly when it comes to development progress on the remake. Ubisoft has already confirmed that the Splinter Cell remake is being developed by Ubisoft Toronto, the same studio that worked on Splinter Cell Blacklist. The game is being rebuilt entirely from the ground up using Ubisoft's Snowdrop engine, meaning this is not a simple remaster. This is a full remake of the original Splinter Cell, modernized for current generation hardware. Ubisoft has stated that the goal is to preserve the identity of the original game while updating the experience for modern players. That likely means smoother controls, improved animations, refined stealth mechanics, and possibly some new quality of life features. However, Ubisoft has also made it clear that this remake will remain faithful to the slower, more tactical stealth gameplay that defined the early Splinter Cell titles. The Splinter Cell remake was officially announced back in 2021, which means it has already been in development for several years. Because of that, there's a strong possibility that the game could release sometime in late 2026 or potentially slip into early 2027 if Ubisoft decides it needs more time. This timing also makes sense when you consider Ubisoft's wider release schedule. Ubisoft's next major launch is expected to be the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, that which is reportedly targeting March 23rd. On top of that, Ubisoft still has other Assassin's Creed projects lined up, which means they'll likely want to space out their biggest releases. If you want more details on Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed plans, I've already covered that in a separate video which you can find linked in the pinned comments. One of the most exciting aspects of the Splinter Cell remake is the use of the Snowdrop engine. We've already seen what this engine is capable of in recent Ubisoft titles like Star Wars Outlaws and Avatar. Frontiers of Pandora, both of which showcased impressive lighting, environmental detail, and atmospheric visuals. Lighting, in particular, is expected to play a major role in the remake. Since light and shadow are core mechanics in Splinter Cell, the Snowdrop engine should allow Ubisoft to push stealth gameplay further than ever before. Dynamic shadows, realistic light sources, and more reactive environments could significantly enhance immersion. Ubisoft has also released several pieces of concept art, giving us a glimpse of how the remake might look. These images suggest a darker, more grounded tone which aligns perfectly with what long-time fans want from the franchise. Now, let's talk about the future beyond the first remake. A potential Splinter Cell 2 remake will almost certainly depend on how well the first remake performs, both critically and commercially. We've seen this approach work extremely well with franchises like Resident Evil, where strong sales and positive reception encourage Capcom to continue remaking multiple entries. If the first Splinter Cell remake is successful, there's a very real chance Ubisoft will move forward with remakes of Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow and Chaos Theory, especially considering how beloved those games are within the community. Ubisoft appears to be testing the waters here, and if fan response is strong, the franchise could finally get the revival it deserves. In addition to remakes, there are also rumors of a Splinter Cell Blacklist Remastered Edition, particularly for the Nintendo Switch. This information comes from leaker Resniakin, who cited a Brazilian YouTube channel claiming that Nintendo has been approaching third-party developers to bring older Ubisoft titles to the Switch. According to these reports, Splinter Cell Blacklist is one of the games being considered for a remaster. Alongside Blacklist, other Ubisoft titles reportedly being discussed include Rayman 3, Driver 1 and 2, and 2 additional unannounced games. If true, this would give Nintendo Switch players access to some of Ubisoft's classic catalog, which is something fans have been asking for years. While nothing is officially confirmed yet, this strategy would make a lot of sense, especially as Ubisoft looks to monetize older franchises while rebuilding interest in them. Personally, I would love to see Ubisoft return to its classic era, when franchises like Splinter Cell and Ghost Recon were at the forefront of tactical and stealth-focused gameplay. These games helped define Ubisoft as a publisher, and many fans still consider them some of the best titles the company has ever produced. There's clearly still a strong demand for grounded, stealth-driven experiences, and Splinter Cell has the potential to fill that space once again if Ubisoft handles it correctly. So overall, while we still don't have a confirmed release date, the future of Splinter Cell is looking more promising than it has in over a decade. With the remake in active development, rumors of remasters, and the possibility of future remakes, 2026 could mark the true return of Sam Fisher. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Ubisoft can successfully revive Splinter Cell? And would you like to see full remakes of Chaos Theory and other classic entries? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more gaming news and updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.